dreaming of how you imagine your life should be, how you how you really thought it was going to turn out when you hit a certain age, the things that you dream that you'll have, and how happy you will be, or content, or fulfilled, I suppose. That's a truly terrible thing when you're someone like me who doesn't have any of those things yet, and can't get it out of their head. But what is probably equally as bad is to imagine times when you had certain relationships with people, or certain bonds that, through your own fault, and when I say your own fault I mean my fault, have started to drop off over the years. And what I have found is, as my social circle has got smaller and smaller, I have tried to keep bonds alive with people who have maybe always been there for me. But like anything in life, things change. And I don't deal with change because I don't want things to change. I want things to change for me, as in my income, my day-to-day, well, not really my day-to-day, because I love what I do day-to-day, but the reason I love what I do day-to-day is because I have this plan in my head of how it must turn out. But anyway, that's not really what I wanted to talk about in this. The point is, having dreams and not seeing them come to fruition yet, that is a truly, in my opinion, bad thing. It's very bad. It's ruined my entire existence. It rules me day in, day out. But equally as bad is when you are someone like me who needs to have positive affirmation from people, or really appreciate sending messages out and having messages come back and people engaging with me. But when it's people that you used to be so close with, and through your own fault, again, when I say your own fault I mean my fault, or through changes in their life, or in I feel I've become just a dreadful person to be around, to the point where my social circle has shrank significantly. And whereas I may be, I think this, I mean, I don't know if this is actually true, but I may have at one point been popular, I may at one point have been in demand, so to speak, for social occasions, or hangouts, or just to spend time with. I would be someone who would be called upon, and it's a very awful thing to know that, yes, people's lives do change and people become less available, even though I am as available as I have ever been. But what might be worse is when you know deep in your heart that you may never have that bond again because of my actions, because of who I am, because of how much of a drag I must be to be around, how depressing everything is now with me, how I don't know, how people just don't, I don't believe people want to be around me anymore. And and the thing is, it would be different if I disagreed with that or felt alienated. To a certain degree I do, from certain people who I'm not going to talk about because that's not the point of this. The point is to just share feelings, and it's something my therapist told me to do, and I write all this down. I've got books upon books of all of this crap, as I call it, but it's not crap, it's genuine. So yes, it's awful. I think the point I'm trying to make is there is so much that I try to hold on to, as well as so much I want to have and to be able to do for people, that it's very overbearing, to the point where I wish I could go back and change so much. Not change what I want to get out of my life, because that has always been the same since I was 17. That will never change, for better, for worse, as painful as it is. No, I would like to go back and change my behaviour in certain ways towards certain people. I would like to obviously save past relationships, if I can, if I could have. I just want to make less. I wish I had made less mistakes in my life. I wish I had said less things out of place. I wish I had done. I just wish I had made different decisions, because in maybe doing so I may have saved certain bonds, friendships, relationships. So now, staring into a void, so to speak, where I'm at the centre of it and I just don't see anyone else there. And I know it's my fault. And that's hard. That's hard. So my advice to anyone out there is, don't alienate people. Don't break friendships with people that, unless you're warranted to do so. And there are definitely people who I am glad are no longer in my life. But just be a good person. Be nice to people. I don't know, just be aware that sometimes, at some point in the future, the people that you're maybe taking for granted, or the people that you feel extremely close with, there may come a time where things will change. And you have to be ready for that, to deal with that. I'm not equipped to deal with that. And I wish I was. And I wish I could let certain things go, and I wish I could not let certain things bother me. But the reality is, there is so much that bothers me, and so much that upsets me, And I know I'm to blame. But that's a tough pill to swallow. And I take enough pills as it is. And I think that's the kind of sentiment I just want to end this little video on. I take enough pills already. And having another one that's tough to swallow is just not... Yeah. It's hard. That's what I'm trying to say. It's hard. There's so much that's hard, but the main focus of this is looking forward is hard, but also looking back and remembering certain times in your life where things were a certain way and longing to have that again, and knowing full well that you will never have that again. It will never be like that again. It can't. People move on, or it's the case that people's opinion of you changes. And you become... people like to surround themselves with people who make them feel good about themselves or make them feel a certain way, be it loved, be it happy, be it, they just like being around that person. I feel, and I know this, that I've just become a very not great person to be around, and I get that. And I understand that, and I wish things were different. And every single day, among the many things that I'm forced to confront about myself, that's one of the hardest. One of the hardest is looking at yourself in the mirror and thinking, you're not the person that people used to like to be around. That person's gone. And I'm able to mask it, and I'm able to, through my gaming and through the gaming channel, though it's not me, it's someone else, but through acting and through, I like those people, the parts that I play. I like them. I don't like me, so therefore it makes no sense that other people are going to like me. And therefore it makes sense that other people will not want to be around me. And that's hard. That's hard. And just take care of the people that you care about, because eventually you may need to rely upon their company, or you may... I don't even really know what I'm trying to say. Just be nice to people. Don't take anyone for granted. Don't take a friendship for granted. Don't take a relationship for granted. Don't take loved ones for granted, because you never know when you'll be in a position where you may feel completely alone. But most people don't, because most people have social circles or friendship circles or lots of family around them. So not everyone could get to the point I have somehow managed to get myself to. Again, the blame is on me, on no one else. And I've accepted that. And it's something I talk about every single week when I have my therapy. Something I'll talk about tomorrow for hours. But occasionally I like to come on here and just share some of my random thoughts. So take care of each other, and I'm sure we will speak again soon. Bye everyone.